God wants to show you his presence where you're at right now. So we're going to do an imagination prayer. God gave you a brain and an imagination for a reason. I want to engage it for a second. So if you could just close your eyes, and I'm going to paint a picture of a scene, and I want you to put yourself in that scene in your mind. And when I talk about smells or feelings or sounds, I want you to hear them and feel them and smell them for a moment. Imagine that you're in the wilderness, and there's trees and brush and briars surrounding you. It's getting dark. You can hear coyotes calling up on the hills. A branch creaks behind you, and you feel that fear start to bubble up. You smell the air, and there's the smell of decay. Something is rotten and dead. You've been running and sweating, and now your damp clothes feel cold, and your socks are wet, and fear rises in your chest. And you want to give up, but giving up means death out here in the wilderness. And then through the trees, you see a glint of light, so you start to walk towards it. And you hear the crackle of a fire, and you smell coffee and food. And there is Jesus. He's made dinner, and he calls your name with a smile. He hands you a blanket that's been warmed by the fire, and he invites you to sit. He gives you a cup of coffee and a plate of warm food, and the shaking stops. And he puts his arm around you. I've got you, friend. I'm here. You're safe. So what else does Jesus say to you in that moment? Let's just listen. Listen to Jesus. What else does he say? Take a minute and listen. Lord, speak to us. I have no doubt that many of us may be in that wilderness today. What we need is that reassurance from Jesus, that knowledge of his unfailing presence to help us overcome. And today might be the first time that you're seeking God's presence in your life. Maybe you have been far from him, but you're returning. Maybe you've been walking with him your whole life or as long as you can remember, but you just need a refresh of his presence. I want to encourage you to respond to that tugging of your heart.